Anyway, so what's next on the plate here? This is a good one. I think
this is a good one to end on. So
I think so.
All right, so I don't know how else to say this. I mean, we just got to get into it. So Nissan has apparently over the past few years been using interns to sit in traffic jams for research. And I mean, what better use of an intern, right? Like when you think of interns, I've done it. I hated it. Intern jobs are typically the worst jobs that nobody wants.
Right.
You know, we all like sitting in traffic in our cars, right? So,
I love it. Yeah, just love it. Well, let me just say this. There's an advantage to sitting in a car in traffic. You get to listen to podcasts like this.
That's true. And, you know, I used to have some police officer friends that would tell me all the time, they're like, when I'm at work, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't mind it at all.
I don't either. I don't know if I'm you. If you're me, if I'm you, that would be weird. But anyway, I personally like to. I always said this when I had my commute into work, when I was actually working physically in an office.
A little parent trap action going on here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I would always listen to podcasts or something. I wind down going into work.
Right.
In other words, because that's kind of it helped me get through the day, and I would look forward to that, you know, drive home show,
right.
The drive home shows, so to speak, sports or whatever.
Yeah, well, it better be this one, which you can find over on our website.
Let's just hope this intern. Let's just hope this intern. Yeah, let's just hope this intern had ways of keeping themselves busy.
Right. So basically, the deal is that they would search out traffic delays, probably like using Google Maps and a lot of the stuff that we have now, and then they would send this guy out if they would find one. They would send him out to it. Now, they would intentionally target, like, rush hour, like morning and evening, because they knew those were going to be, Jay, if you're going fishing, go where the fish are, right? Like, you don't fish in your neighbor's swimming pool where there aren't any fish. So, so
exactly. Good analogy,
right?
Yes.
So they're sending him in. So, but why? Why were they doing this? Were they just mean? Are these just awful people over at Nissan that just like to make interns suffer? You have you go ahead. You want to let the cat out of the bag?
It has to do with customer. It came from customer feedback basically, and they're looking to improve upon Nissan's ProPILOT Assist.
Yep.
With Navi-Link with Navi-Link system. It's available on the all-new 2021 Nissan Rogue and the all-new 2022 Pathfinder. The system syncs with the car's navigation system to better predict the freeway ahead. So the bottom line is you have to have, look, it's like Google Earth or Google Maps, right? You have to send someone out there to video all of these things,
right?
To traverse across the globe to give you factual, real data. So this is probably a situation where they have, they're using their brains and they want to further develop it and improve upon their system. So unfortunately, this guy was
and apparently they would make changes to the systems that you just talked about and send him out to test them. Now, I will tell you why I think this matters. So and there's good and bad to this, and I'll explain that in a minute. So my wife's car, which we previously established, has horrible windshield wipers and the gas light's always on.
Why would you do that to her, Keith?
Leave the gas? I usually go put gas in it as soon as I get in it because it's on empty. I bought the best wipers I could find.
Well, what are you trying to? Does she listen to the podcast?
Yeah, probably not. I don't know.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're not getting in trouble here.
Well, it's all stuff I would say at the dinner table. I mean,
Anyway, Go ahead.
So she's got a car that has that feature. It's a Lexus, and it's built into the cruise control system where if it detects a vehicle stop in front of you, and I've used it. Like I've been in city traffic, and it'll be 3 miles an hour, and then it'll go to a stop, and it'll be 5 miles an hour and go to stop, and that just on the brake, off the brake, on the brake, off the brake. So I've set the cruise control and it'll stop and start for me. Now I'm sitting there watching. You know, I'm not like just looking down and doing you know, whatever I shouldn't be doing, but you just let your feet rest, and it'll.
Right.
Now that one I think is a minute, and if you're stopped for more than a minute, it'll disengage, and it'll start beeping at you. Apparently, Nissan started at 3 seconds, and they were getting a lot of customer complaints. Hey, 3 seconds is way too short.
Right.
You know, that's literally not enough time to even, you know, I mean, it's just nothing. So I think they're, in some of this testing, they're trying to find a happy medium that keeps you comfortable, but doesn't let you take naps, right? Like we're seeing people do with their, you know, this isn't like Consumer Reports, right? Like where they're just trying to trick the car.
So their goal was to get out, for those of you listening and watching, to get out, like Keith said initially, you go where the fish are. If you want to find out the true scenario to improve upon a system like this, you have to put yourself in the position of the worst case scenario. Worst case scenarios are going to give you the best results in an onboard system like this. So, but I hope that this guy was paid very well. I would hope to have been, because
I doubt it.
Gosh, man, I mean I mean, I've driven through some pretty nasty cities, Seattle being one of them. So if they're improving upon this to the point that it would help me get through that city in these circumstances, I'm all for this type of situation. Sign me up. I want to be that intern, man.
Well, it looks like he's moved on. He now works with what they call Human Machine Interface, HMI, which is basically machine learning in the automotive industry. And he has a special focus on what Nissan calls their ProPILOT Assist system, which enhances the car's connection with their vehicles. So he kind of progressed into that as a career.
Right, and that's very awesome. That's how you do things. Just as any internship, you hope that will spawn a job offering in the future, or steer you in the direction of your studies, what you've chosen to do for the rest of your life. But for those of you out there going to be purchasing a Nissan with the ProPILOT Assist, you know, you need to give a big hats off to this guy.
Yep. Right now, that's the 2021 Rogue or newer, and the 22 Pathfinder or newer. Yeah, the guys. If you can say his last name, more power to you.
I'm gonna go Szymkowski.
Okay.
Szymkowski. I don't know.
See, now you know why I didn't touch it.
So anybody out there in listening land, please leave a comment on this video or on our website, and let us know the correct pronunciation of this gentleman's name. So, but thank you, sir, for doing your job and taking one for the country.
Yep, literally.
So there you have it.